utilizing the natural resources like water. And throughout the world, human habitation have tried to utilize water, modulate water for its own use. As the YSRCP member was speaking very recently, he had told me, I was just prompting him whether he will say that we need water to flow, fresh water to flow into the sea. Unless fresh water flows into the sea, we will not have clouds. And if we don't have clouds, we will not have fresh water in the land. And therefore, but what is happening during these modern days, that we have to tame the flood, tame the river. We will not allow water to flow into the sea. If that happens at some point of time, it will create further disaster. That is the reason why in Bay of Bengal, we have so many low pressure. And low pressure brings rain into the sea. You don't have this type of rain in the Arabian Peninsula because no river flows into the sea. There is very little fresh water that goes into the Arabian Sea. And this we can see on both sides of our peninsular India. Therefore, I come to the bill first. But before coming to that, I would just mention that I had mentioned last time in 2018 when this bill was first introduced. There are a lot of incongruities in this bill. I would not compare this bill with the bill that was introduced in 2010. This has been rather a progressive bill, and lot of steps have been taken to make it good for the country. But dam failure has been a major concern, and therefore it has affected large population in our country. And therefore, it all started perhaps much earlier, I would say in 2001, when a first attempt was made that there has to be a cohesive attempt to see how does our dams are functioning. And during that time, an issue also was raised: who is the owner of the dams, and whose responsibility it is for maintenance of these dams? Does the union government has any power to oversee the functioning and maintenance of these dams? And what would be the role of the state government? And in their wisdom, that time it was first contemplated, let us take all the states into confidence. Let them do as per the constitutional provision of 246 that was mentioned by our learned Adhivakta, P.P. Chaudhary, that let first 2 states request the union government, or let the 2 state assemblies pass resolution in their assembly requesting the union government, or respective states can also prepare their own dam safety provisions. 252? 252. Yes. Constitution धारा इतने confusing है. Power of Parliament to legislate for 2 or more states by consent, and adoption of such legislation by any other state. तो इस हिसाब से बिहार जैसे अपने डैम सेफ्टी एक्ट बना लिया, वेस्ट बंगाल and another state, they passed a resolution that union government can do, but all these were relating to 2010 bill, and that bill is not before us today. Before us today is the 2019 bill, which is a corollary of 2018 bill. And here I would say one thing still matters of 256, which has been repeatedly stated by the minister. It has to be with public interest. And to be with public interest, it has to have a resolution passed in this House. I would say the Dam Safety Bill 2019, which is before us today, is a much improved version of 2010 that was referred to the Parliamentary Standing Committee. However, a number of states have expressed their apprehension about the bill. Apprehension is there about Union may take control over all the dams. This Dam Safety Bill 2019 has been brought under entry 56 and not under Article 249 or 250 of the Constitution as was contemplated earlier. What does entry 56 say? Entry 56 says, a regulation and development of interstate rivers and river valleys to the extent to which such regulation and development under the control of the Union is declared by Parliament by law to be expedient in public interest. And to describe it in public interest, should we believe now that if a disaster happens somewhere, Union government will appropriate the power unto itself? The idea of the federal character of our Constitution was you empower the states and they will take the responsibility. Not you empower the Union and Union will take all the responsibility. That time it was, even today in the Constitution it is stated, union of states. It is a union of states. And therefore I felt very happy the other bill which was being piloted by the present Jal Shakti minister, that why you repeatedly mention center. Center is something which is acquiring all the power. If it is union, you have a camaraderie of all the states. You take, उन्होंने मान लिया, इसलिए मैंने शाबाशी दे रहा हूँ कि यहाँ क्या हो रहा है? Through this bill, you are acquiring the power. You want to give certain things, even advice from the top. It is not a top-down mechanism which can function in a dam safety way. The states should be empowered so that they will take care of themselves, because these dams have been created, have been erected by the states itself from their funds. There are very rare instances where union government has invested in construction of the dams. Sir, Madam, however, for use of this entry for passage of DSB 2019, Parliament will also need to declare that dam safety is expedient in public interest. Even if Parliament were to declare that, about 8% territory of the country, which is not part of the interstate river basins, would remain outside the purview of the Dam Safety Bill 2019. Yet, Dam Safety Bill 2019 says it covers all the specified dams, meaning all large dams of the country. And what are the large dams? Already that specification has already been mentioned by our honorable member from JDU. This bill is certainly an improvement from DSB 2010 by inclusion of, and I quote, failure-related disasters. This was not there in 2010, of dams, not just structural failure in the definition of dam failure and dam incident. Yet I would say there is still no inclusion of compensation to the victims of dam failure or dam incidents, which was a key recommendation of Parliamentary Standing Committee in 2011, 15th Lok Sabha. The Dam Safety Bill 2019 continues to suffer from a number of lacunas. Here I would like to mention, it is not bad is the greatest enemy of good. It is always better which is the greater enemy of good. But don't think that opposition, when they are recommending something, where they are suggesting certain things, we don't want this to be done. We want a better bill or a better act And here, for example, I would say the whole dam safety mechanism is dominated by the Central Water Commission, with chairperson of CWC being the chairperson of National Committee on Dam Safety, a representative of CWC being a member of each state committee on dam safety. The CWC is also involved in policy making about dams, in their approval, guiding, design, financing, monitoring, approving seismic parameters, flood forecasting, and so on and so forth. Dam safety is essentially a regulatory mechanism, a regulatory function, and thus CWC has clear conflict of interest in being involved in dam safety mechanism. CWC also has had very poor track record in dam safety. Kerala episode is the latest instance. Second point, madam, dam safety mechanism has to essentially work in public interest, and the people at risk are the biggest stakeholders, not only the state governments. Unfortunately, the bill does not even define who are the stakeholders of dam safety. Though the term stakeholder is used in Dam Safety Bill 2019 in ensuring safe design, planning, construction, operation, and maintenance of dams. Madam, this implies that all the information about dam safety should be promptly placed in the public domain, and the bill should itself mandate this. This is lacking. The bill requires appointment of up to 3 out of a total 21 members, specialists in the field of dam safety and allied fields, nominated by the union and state governments respectively as members of NCDS and SCDS. But there is no mention of these persons having an independent track record. Nor is there any mechanism mentioned as to how they will be selected. The language of several sections, for example, in Chapter 6 of the Dam Safety Bill 2019 suggests that state dam safety organization is subservient to the National Dam Safety Authority. It is no wonder that the states regard the DSB 2019 with suspicion. According to the latest version of National Register of Large Dams, 5,701 large dams, including 447 under construction and 5,254 completed projects. For 194 of these projects, Central Water Commission does not even know year of construction. Out of the rest, 5,060 completed large dams, over 57% are more than 20 years old, and about 370 are over 70-year-old. Moreover, even newer dams are known to suffer with structural and operative failures. But does this bill create a credible statutory dam safety mechanism? Here I would like to just mention, here, madam, one of our members mentioned about schedule. In 7th schedule, I don't know whether the minister will subscribe to what his colleagues mentioned from Rajasthan. 97. Any other matter not enumerated in list 2 or list 3, including any tax not mentioned in either of these lists. I'm not a lawyer by profession. Neither have I studied in any law college. But as far as I understand, this is something which does not give the total power to the union government to make law. It deals only and specifically only to taxation. Therefore, I would say, and the other, I'm not going through whatever the provisions are there, but 245. Before I conclude, I should also mention, madam, that yes, dam safety is a primary concern of this country. To protect the life and property of the people of our country, there is a need. But it has to be a regulatory mechanism. And that regulatory mechanism cannot be a top-down approach. Empower the states, they should do it. They have, if you feel that they don't have requisite expertise, then that type of support can be provided. But once you have such top-down mechanism, it will not help in the long run. Thank you, Madam.
Shri Prabhakar.